when we ride. I feel like David ain't no fear, but I'm still gon' rise. Hop out the booth, we praise Yahuwah with them people that is like his mind. So let's talk about the Olympics. This is a video I have been not wanting to make for a while, just because I'm just being disobedient. But because I am a former athlete and I did want to go to the Olympics, I see now why Yahuwah took me out of that and why it was not meant for people of his kingdom. So let's talk about it. It says the Olympic flames origins can be traced back to ancient Greece, where sacred fires were kept burning in temples during the celebration of the ancient Olympics. In particular, a flame was kept burning on the altar of the goddess Hestia in the Prytaneum, a building used for banquets honoring the athletes after the games. Additional fires were also lit every 4 years at the temples of Zeus and Hera to honor them during the games to ensure the flame's purity. It was sometimes lit using the sun's rays concentrated by a scaphia, a mirror similar to those used today to light the Olympic flame. In Greek mythology, fire had divine connotations, and it was believed that Prometheus had stolen fire from the gods. It was also thought that the Olympic flame was sent by the gods who favored the games. Runners would carry the flames through the city-states of Greece and invite athletes to participate and to send messages to stop fighting and make peace. Alright, so we're going to stop right there. And we just going to realize that all of that was based off of their own thinking, their own ideology. Like, it's not concrete. There's nothing in scripture that says every 4 years having Olympic Games. This is something that they made up for themselves. Like, you gotta think, you're really running in a rat race, bro. Think about this, bro. You do all this training, you put your body through all this strenuous work for what? Because you ain't doing it for yourself. You're really doing it for other people. So, like, you making yourself an idol, because that's exactly what happens. Oh, they're an icon. They're an idol. They're an idol. You're an idol. You're making yourself into an idol. Because during all that time, when do you have time to really sit down and do the works of the Father? I know you have time. But is that your main focus? Is that your real main focus? Well, let's be, you know what I'm saying? So, it says, the next part says, the ancient Olympic Games were held every 4 years, or Olympia, to honor the Greek god Zeus. And as part of a religious festival, the 4-year interval between the games was also used as a way to measure time, with people counting time in Olympiads instead of years. The games were held in Olympia, Greece, from 776 BC to 393 AD, and were one of the two most important rituals in ancient Greece, along with the Eleusinian mysteries. I don't know how to say that word. I ain't gonna lie. But as you can see, like, you're not even doing, you're literally worshiping another deity. So, and I see why, like, and I can see it, like, even with, like, the last Olympics, what they do, they burned the golden calf. What they do, the Olympic before that, they had the LGBT community mocking the Last Supper. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, just stuff like that. It's all a mockery, bro. You doing this for their gods, their deity, their worship, just to be worshipped by people. It's all idolatry. So, let's see what it says about gymnastics. So, gymnastics originated in ancient Greece, where it was practiced in the cities of Athens and Sparta. The word gymnastics comes from the Greek word gymnos, which means to train naked. So, back in the day, you just around a bunch of booty butt naked men training to worship a god. You trying to get your physique to look like their gods. You're doing all this to look like their deities. which means you're in the likeness of their deities. Even if you don't believe in what they believe in, you're still a bystander, because while you're still there at their rituals. You're still there at their rituals. You know what I'm saying? You can't say, oh, well, I don't believe in what they believe in. Nah, fam, you're a bystander. You're a partaker in it, because you didn't tear that idol down. So now you're just a part of it. So, say all that to say, Olympics, pagan, idolatry is wicked. Turn back to Yahuwah. Find yourself some shalom. I'll talk to y'all later. Me and you, we can really be the same, but you on a different path and your feet different ways. You tell me it's a cycle that you gotta go through, but you feel a big F. Ain't the teacher told you can wait to the end, but it might be too late. Time keys all ticking, ain't no time to hold weight. Gotta start the grind every day.